Hey guys, this is Isaac Woolsey, the autistic comedian here. I wanted to tell you all a story about my struggles with getting to open mics sometimes because I do not drive because I am disabled. I mean, you can obviously look at me and tell. Hence, since I have my hair all the way back because I just showered and I didn't want it in my face. And this is all done by hands, not by a comb. Most people with curly hair don't really own a comb because it's really hard to use. But anyway, uh, the reason I wanted to tell this story is sometimes things don't go as planned, especially when you're traveling as a disabled person, and you can't drive because one time I went to a mic, which I did really well at the mic. It was an okay mic. One of the videos, I even uploaded the video of me performing at that mic, which is the one with the yellow thumbnail about only a few jokes. Yeah, that was the mic. Because I originally tried to go to that mic earlier, and by earlier I mean a week ago, but something happened at that time, and I couldn't, and I'll tell you why. First, to get to that part of Raleigh, for me, I have to literally take how many was it? Like 3 or 4 buses to get there, and it takes like 2.5 to 3 hours to get there. And so what I did was I hopped on the J bus. I showered and everything, and then I went to the Health Sciences Library at UNC. This is the main hub for buses for Chapel Hill going into Durham or Raleigh. So I went on that. I waited for the 800 bus to come. I waited a little bit longer than usual because it was kind of delayed. I hopped on the 800 and I rode that for like 35 minutes, I think, or 40 minutes, and I rode that to the RTC, or Regional Transit Center, between Raleigh and Durham. And then I waited a few minutes for the 100. Got on the 100, waited a few minutes for it to go down the road to where I needed to go. And I remember, I don't know what happened, but when I was riding, which was like, I don't know, a 45-minute ride, I think I got lost or something, or I got off too early. I don't know what happened, but I ended up getting lost for the thing. And then right as bad goes to worse, like the rain started to fall, and it was like pouring down rain. This was like summer in North Carolina, so that happens. And I went into, like, I think it was a CVS or a Walgreens, one of those places. Like, I was there, my phone was soaked, so I couldn't use it. I was stranded, I was lost, I didn't know where anything was, and I was starting to have a full-blown meltdown, a panic attack, if you will. And eventually they calmed me down. I think I bought a soda or something, and I relaxed. They dried me off. And I had to call my guardian, like the dejected loser that I was. Just kidding. I like to be self-deprecating, but I called my dad, and he called me an Uber all the way back, which was really huge of him. So I owe him a lot for that. Now, that was the first attempt to get there. A week later, I tried to go to or 2 weeks later, I tried to go to that same mic, and I ended up going all the way. I ended up making it there. I took like the 4 buses to get there. I got there, but I was like 2 hours early or something insane. I went to the bar. Like, people were doing yoga there, and it was like, okay, I don't like yoga because I'm a big fat guy who's not flexible. That's going to give me a heart attack or gas or worse. But anyway, I waited till then. I think I got myself a drink. I paced back and forth. Then the host and the other comics came up, getting ready for the mic. They were good guys, good people. I don't fault them at all. It was my blunder. And I remember, but then the mic started an hour late because for like a whole hour they were arguing over who was a better dancer, Chris Brown or Michael Jackson. Well, one hurts women, one hurts children. It's like, which is better? Just kidding. That's a dark joke. But anyway, so then we finally start. I started toward the end. I got a few laughs, but it wasn't particularly great set, as you can see by that video. But I did it. I soldiered on. Then it was time for me to go to go home. And I think because I started late, I went to the bus stop. This is in like downtown Raleigh, big city, and like kind of in the darkest, most urban part of the city. Where it's like, just a bunch of big buildings and like everything closes at Raleigh like very late because Raleigh's one of those cities that just closes down everything except for a few places that are like bars or something. I remember I was standing there. This was like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night, and I waited for like an hour at the bus stop, and then in front of this hamburger place called Char Grill. I waited there for an hour, I remember. And this guy came up and was like, oh yeah, the buses stopped running like 2 hours ago. It's like, oh crap. And I forgot to mention that my phone was like completely out of batteries at the time. So well, it was like on like 1% charge or something insane, So I couldn't call my dad for help. So I couldn't call an Uber. So I was sitting there for an hour. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And this gentleman, I didn't know this guy. It was a complete stranger. He came up. He got me a burger and a drink at the Char Grill, which I ate and I drank and I was happy. And he said, I'll let you spend the night with me. And I was like, okay, this will end badly or good. But here's the thing. You can't sleep in the house because of the landlord and stuff like that, and there's no rooms. So what we did was we got there. We walked like I think a mile or something like that. So we got there and we got to the house, which was like, a small, kind of small like suburban area with a porch. It was an older house with, because not many houses have like those types of porches anymore. And there was like rocking chairs and on the porch and everything, so that was cool. And like this guy who was smoking, which was like one of his roommates, he says, hey, this guy missed the bus, so he needs to spend the night. And they're like, well, don't tell the landlord or else he'll get really mad. He's like, no, he won't be in the house. I'm like, what does he mean by in the house? Turned out they gave me like some blankets, or I think a small mattress, I forgot, but like just some blankets and a pillow, and I slept on the porch that night. But I couldn't spend too long of a nap and I slept, and I remember sleeping mostly okay in the night. There was, some bugs making noises and stuff, and even like the cats that would come up and try to snuggle with me, and I'm like, go away.